Wallo was arrested actually while he was in prison. So like Pennsylvania came in and arrested him in 2014 in his cell. And what you don't hear WALLO267 tell you too often, if ever, is when he was arrested in his cell in 2014, he had three different computers, laptops. He had cell phones that he was actively using. He had his own kind of podcast, radio station equipment. He was in contact. He was building, setting up his return to society, which most people do that post-relief. Wallo decided to do that while he was still in prison. So, naturally in prison, they don't allow you to set up your own little radio station in your cell. What they call contraband. So, as a matter of fact, I think he was actually charged with escape instruments, is what they classify it as. So they came in his cell in 2014. I think in a prison. I've never been to Pennsylvania. It's called Graterford. It was called Graterford Penitentiary in Pennsylvania. I think it's closed now. And they put the handcuffs on him, and he got charged with all that. Matter of fact, he got rearrested, and they gave him a $5,000 bond. I don't know how they give somebody a bond who's still in prison, but that's what happened to Wallo. So when he came out in 2017, that's when he got released. He would have you to believe that, that you got a head start against him. That you had an advantage that he didn't have. Because he just came out talking about, I just got out of prison and look what I'm doing. And it's like, wait a minute. Your guy, Mike Wilson, is telling us that you had already started on your contacts, your internet presence, your social media. And that's why you were arrested in your cell in 2014 at Graterford Penitentiary. See, he likes to leave that part out of his story. He don't tell y'all that. Real Mike Wilson got to tell y'all that about Wallo. Now, I've even had some people come back and ask me, they say, why is it 267? What does that mean? There's people that ask that. Now, a lot of y'all do realize that he's kind of fading away with the 267. He's going more on the identifier as Wallo. But actually, I'm going to tell you the history behind 267. 267 wasn't actually his number in prison. His number in prison was 2670. Wallace Peoples, 2670. That was his number. But when he got out, he dropped the 0 and he went with WALLO267. So now you know where the 267 comes from. But I'm going to end this audio here by telling you this. It's hard not to like the guy. I'm not going to take anything away. He's a likable guy. He's a likable guy. It's hard not to like Wallo. However, Wallo got to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And that includes his cousin, giving him money when he got out of prison. He leaves that out. He don't tell y'all that. See, Wallo had people that was connected, to front him on some money when he got out. He leaves that part out. He don't ever talk about how his cousin, set him up on the way out of prison. He leaves that part out of his story. But now you see, because I got to come in here and sort it out, that he now makes sure to let you know that he's paid for these speaking engagements. Because see, before me, he thought for a second, hey, I can do these speaking engagements, get my check, and I'll still put it in the pawn shop like I'm just out here doing community service for free. But I pulled his card. And I pulled Wallo's card on that quick. He made the adjustment immediately. He said, shift gears on this one, because that ain't going to work. But anyways, I'm going to end with this. Even though Wallo got arrested in 2014 while he still was doing his prison sentence, he always say he the one. He's the one that did this. He's the one that did that. Now, Pennsylvania had something for him. See, whatever happens in your life, always remember this. The crimes that Wallace people did, he don't talk about those. He breezed through that, right? But sometime in an interview, you want to hear, hey, let's talk about who you were as a criminal. What offenses did you do to society specifically? See, these are the questions that you got to ask Wallace Peoples. So, okay, I just want to go through the breezeway on this. Hold on now. Talk to us about who you were as a criminal with the weapon in your hand. Pennsylvania don't just hand out no 20 years to everybody for non-violent offenses. So your offense must have been a violent one. What'd you do, Wallace? Talk to us. Tell us in detail. Oh, Wallo, what about when you got arrested in 2014 while you were still in prison with all that contraband? Escapee instrument charges. See, you got to really break his game wide open. And you're not going to be able to do that without audios like this coming from the real Mike Wilson. Because, see, I ain't nobody friend over here. My job is to tell you the truth so that you understand what's really going on behind the scenes. The real Mike Wilson, WALLO267.